Hi guys, it's Rebecca Mara, and I am an intuitive coach and an energy healer. And I want to talk a little bit about how to be free in an unfree world. You can read into that however you want, but it's really about finding aliveness that is unconditional and unrestricted by returning to your inherent nature and by really leaning into life. And this has been a gorgeous lesson for me while we've been in quarantine and being in Boulder County. We've had the luxury of being able to go on really long hikes. And because I'm a mom of an animal, and an animal that likes a lot of movement and attention, we've been outside for hours every day, 2 or 3 hours at least, sometimes 2 hikes a day. And it has informed so much about my nature. There is something in the Kabbalah, in the Tree of Life. One of the Sephirot is Guivara, which is restraint and restriction. And there's an aspect of life that is just, it's unrestricted flow of energy, unrestricted love, unrestricted life force. And Guivara is part of what creates matter and physical density. It's what creates individuation. It's what creates differentiation, and also limitation and restriction and restraint, which could seem like a bad thing. But when I would go hiking outside, and this is partly because I had access to this because I was in the present moment and in my body, like really feeling myself as an animal, as a child, as a woman, outside, as a spirit too, outside, interacting fully with life. There's no separation between me and nature. Nature outside of me is informing who I am, and I'm seeing it within, and I'm seeing how I'm like my animal, my doggy, who's wild and moved by instincts, who hunts and eats things and is prey to other things. Just seeing this whole dance of life has allowed me to lean in a lot more to my own wildness and my own aliveness. So coming back to Guivara, Guivara is like the gridding, the separation, my skin to your skin, the restraint. And when I was younger, I had a really controlling parent that wouldn't let me do anything. And just kind of everything I was doing was being controlled. And I think that as we get conditioned, we move from this amazing kind of magical child into losing our essence, losing our nature, losing our wildness, and losing our connection to life itself. And then we retreated into our minds as we got conditioned. And we lost a sense of what I really am, because I'm going through the motions to do the things that I'm supposed to do. And I don't have a sense of this like wild instinct within me that knows who I am and what I need and what to do. And when I became a teenager, I started really pushing up against those walls of, I felt so restricted that I fucking burst. I just like my wrath was immense. And I felt like I could blow up mountains with my energy or with my emotions. And this is one aspect of becoming unshackled and unchained. It could be one phase of it, but it doesn't last there. So there was something really intelligent about the part of me that was like, I already am not free. What else could possibly make me less free? Nothing. And so I'm going to use my energy to create something and to make something happen because I want to. And no one can stop me. And so, for better or worse, I I pushed up against those boundaries, and in that pushing up against it, I could feel myself in a way. I could feel my aliveness, I could feel my passion, I could feel my fire, I could feel my power again, where I felt like I was completely helpless and had no control before. Mind you, this was sort of like a false sense of control, but it did create a little bit of a sense of aliveness. And it created enough push off for me to start becoming the woman that I wanted to be, becoming the person that I fantasized about being. And that was a really important process for me in reclaiming my power. Mind you, there was a lot of tweaking that needed to be done between then and now. But there's a moment, here's sort of the grace of restriction and limitation and being controlled, which is going to happen if you're on Earth. You have a body, you're automatically limited by time and space, right? Those of us that can remember what it's like being in the spirit world, it can be hard knowing that you're here. You're like, what the fuck? Why is it so hard? Why is everything so slow? It's so hard to move matter. Well, yeah. But instead of just feeling powerless and kind of shrinking against it, I think some of our instincts could be to get depressed and to sink down, to collapse or freeze. And then we're really powerless. Or we build up a wall of anger against it that we never kind of clear. Or we feel all this like anxiousness or all these different, trauma responses to feeling powerless or feeling controlled. But what you can do is find where your aliveness and your freedom is. And you can do that in your mind, but that's only going to be an abstract power. It's not an embodied power. It's cool, but when it's in your body, it's a whole new level of freedom. And so that means starting to feel aliveness in your body. It's starting to take your spirit and your will and to bring it through this form to create in each moment a feeling, an experience, but really, really, really focus on where can I feel more aliveness in my body right now? Do I need to move in a certain way? Do I lean into my animal nature and let that lead me? Do I, and with discretion, right? I'm not saying being sloppy and do whatever you want. There still is limitation that will enable you to not hurt yourself and not hurt other people, which is a nice thing to do. But where can I find, even if I can't leave my house, even if I can't do this and this and this, and then I have all this fear of the future, or what if, and da-da-da. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen, at least in this time with the coronavirus. Overall, there are a lot of things that we don't know. So our analytical mind is useless. Why don't we come back into our magical child? It's like being a kid again. You can discover, you can create things in the moment, but if your intention is where can I feel more aliveness in this? Or how do I lean into this even more to create more aliveness or something interesting out of it? That is where your power and your freedom is, and nobody can take that from you. It's completely unconditional. It has nothing to do with what's happening outside of you. You have a body, and some people have some restrictions because of their physical conditions or chronic conditions. But overall, there's always an opening. So when you feel something squeezing you, where it's like, you can't do this, that is a perfect opportunity to grow something new. If I have my hands tied, I want to find a whole new way to feel goodness in my body. I can't use my hands to sense people's energy anymore when I'm doing one-on-one sessions. So I need to learn how to connect in a new way. With the people that I love, I could be sad that I'm not able to hang out with them and cuddle up with them all the time. I can do that. But how much, when I'm with them, how much am I actually letting them in, and how much am I actually loving them? With this restriction, it might make me not have my needs met in a way that I have to generate a deeper and better way to love and feel connected, even if someone's not right in front of me. So we're kind of like removing crutches so that you can grow new ability to feel alive in different ways. To me, one of the most important ways to feel aliveness is like your mind is great, but it's not going to bring your soul into your body. You want that soul to start coming into the body, which is returning to your original nature before you got super conditioned, and it's allowing that to come alive. So it's not happening in your ego or personality dimension. It's got to happen somewhere bigger than that. And so coming into the present moment, because that's where all aliveness is, coming into your body, that's where all aliveness on earth is. We can start dancing, like feel, how do I lean in where I'm really here? I'm really here with you right now. Can you feel me? Can you feel that I'm really here with you right now? And dance with the trees, like dance with yourself, move so that parts of you that have gone offline and have been unused can wake up and come alive again. Sing so that you can feel like joy moving through your throat, so you can feel beauty moving through your, rolling off your tongue, so you can feel yourself like worshiping like the light and the goodness and the beauty and the peace, and say prayers like language of love for the people you know, for the earth, for the water, for your life. You can create. That is the beauty of being a human being, is that you can create whatever you want, sort of, with limitations, right? So the question is, where can I bring more aliveness? What can I create? I really, really recommend being outside, because I can tell you for myself, when I'm inside, I am in my patterned thought processes of, what do I do? Am I going to read a book? Am I going to learn this? Do I need to get back to this client? There's stuff, you know, like in my own personal space, I have structures kind of set up from looking around being like, okay, I take these supplements, I should be eating this. When you're in the wild, when you're in nature, you can get more in tune with your own nature because you need to be present. You can be present. There's nothing else for you to do while you're outside in nature. So I really recommend exploring your wildness in nature. Put headphones on. Listen to music that gets like a romantic part of you going, or listen to music that gets your heart and your spirit soaring, that's like so peaceful and so beautiful, like something that stirs your soul. We need to like churn matter here, getting out of our heads, getting out of back here on the observer, and really, really bringing ourselves into the game is so essential right now. Getting into the game. Where can I lean in? If I'm anxious, how do I lean into that anxiousness and bring that into beauty? If I'm feeling angry, how do I move the anger through my body, or let my animal experience what that is? It's intelligent. It's telling me that I'm restricted and I don't like it. And after I can experience that and become aware of it, I can look at my circumstances and see where I can create freedom for myself, right? Dance under some trees, like go put on like amazing music. You can listen. I've been listening to soul. I've been listening to like sexy stuff. I've been listening to tribal stuff. I've been listening to like beautiful, beautiful and angelic kind of like soul music. It's just live life through your body like when you were a child, before our essence wasn't witnessed and you had to go away for some reason. We can come alive again, and that is one of the greatest gifts this time has given us, and it's one of the greatest gifts that nature can offer us through our own body, which is our nature. We cannot separate ourselves from our nature. This body holds infinite wisdom, especially once you start getting interested in her and wanting to learn from her. All your unconscious is in here, and all of your nature and all of your connection to life and each other is within this body here. And it can be explored through hiking and be outside, get lost, become wild. Don't do things that you normally do. Explore, but don't do it from your doing self. Do it from Where can I become more alive? Where can I feel more whole? How do I bring myself more into life? Like, how amazing is that? Oh, there's a little birdie looking at me. It's so cute. It's peeking at me. I never saw that before. What else can I see that I haven't seen before? What else can I create that I haven't created before? How do I bring myself into this game of life fully and step out of the robotic matrix stuff? What part of my soul really wants freedom, and what does that freedom look like for me? It's not an external thing, it's an internal work. So let's really, really explore what that internal freedom is like. Again, I want to say I've been dancing and I've been praying, but mostly I've been spending hours outside because nature teaches us in a way that our home environments can't. And I really, really recommend you experiencing yourself in nature without thinking. Just really pay attention, get into a deep altered state and see where that can take you. It's really powerful. Okay. Thank you guys for listening. I'm not sure which way I'm supposed to be looking in this, but thank you for listening. And if you'd like, please hit the little bell and you can sign up for my channel. Just subscribe to my channel. That'll help other people get good information. And I'm sending you blessings. See where you can feel more alive today. Love you guys.